Good morning, everyone. Welcome to American Scousers Morning Coffee or Tea with American Scouser. It's Thursday, so that's right. Daffy's back in action. I have the coffee here, and we have Adri back, hopefully with coffee because we know
Hello.
she's crabby without it. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, we have some coffee and some hydrate like electrolytes because I'm a little hungover. Nothing crazy. I had a couple of wines last night.
Wait, okay,
But
you
a
can't
coffee is a
say
must.
I'm a little hangover, nothing crazy, but then have like a bottle of like electrolytes because that's not usually how that goes.
No, because I as I all I get like hangovers, I don't know what's going on. I cannot handle them. And it could takes like a week to recover. But like this time I'm not even joking. I had just like two glasses of wine, like white wine, Sauvignon Blanc, and I woke up like, oh. I was like, really? Really?
Oh,
No, so just trying to make a decent presentation. I have this here and my coffee.
And you're hanging out by the beach, right?
Yeah, I'm in Long Island Beach with my in-laws and my boyfriend. We were here just for 3 days, and I'm coming back to reality today, to the
mm.
city. I have to work at 5.
Yeah, that
That's
always sucks when
disgusting.
you have to get back into action over here. Speaking of back in action, we have Travis back here. You guys will remember Travis if you were up in the wee hours of the morning during the podathon from Portland from the Road Series. What's going on, man?
Oh, I am so happy to be here. I'm so excited. It is bright and early here in beautiful Portland, Oregon. I am eager to talk soccer footy. I've got my coffee. I've got my coffee in my limited edition source
Ooh,
here. This is Portland
Nice.
Rose City Reds koozie. So I
that's
don't know if you
so
actually.
cool.
Yeah, we are since we just kind of relaunched with a new home bar, Kel's Brewery in Northwest Portland. We couldn't be happier with the group. We had and I even see we got a good morning from one of our members. Yes, they're
All
listening in. Oh,
right.
Brian, good
Oh,
morning. So
Ryan has you got Ryan hooked, man. He's been a regular. Right? We see
oh
Ryan every morning here.
well, this is
Yeah,
the best soccer podcast out there without question. So we're gonna
I
see
love it. Yeah.
that audience grow and grow. But yeah, it has been such an incredible showing. I want to say we had 90 supporters come in for the Newcastle match. We had 80 come in for Bournemouth. We had like 75 people show
That's
up at the
pretty
community
darn
shield.
good because they were both weekdays. We were just talking about that with
Yeah.
Audrey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for a brand new pub, brand new supporters group, we couldn't have been happier with it. And there's just so much positive
Oh,
energy. Everyone's so excited to be there. It has been an absolute blast. So I am
we
fired
gotta
up.
go.
You gotta go. Hey, we've got the Timbers out here with Diego Chara, who incredible Colombian player. So I mean,
Oh, really?
Well,
absolutely.
this is just horrible. Like your sales pitch of like throwing a Colombian player over there. It wasn't like, oh, Portland is a nice city or whatever. They're like, oh,
Hey,
we got the Timbers. They have a Colombian.
you
You should
gotta
really
know your
come over
audience,
here.
man. You gotta know your audience.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah,
You
well, we
know?
can do. He's a smart guy. Like, come on, come on. I gotta
that's
give him that.
that's
I mean, I was just like
that's
absolutely.
that's
Uh,
why they bring that's why Timucin brings me on, you know. I get these
Yeah.
moments of brilliance, but only for like an hour every week or two. That's it. That's all I've got in me.
Joshua says, how about those United Red Devils? The funny thing is, somebody in the chat yesterday morning said they're like watching lose to like I'm gonna go watch them lose to Grimsby or whatever. And I was like, I laughed it off. I didn't even know if I brought it on the screen. And then I watched that comedy later on. We actually watched the penalty kicks live. I was commentating it to my brother because we were about to go on air for like Fenerbahce. And yeah, that was good times. I really enjoyed it. Later today, we're gonna be recording Rival Bros. So if you guys are not watching that, it's a show we do with my brother. He's a United fan. So that should be a really fun one.
No,
He's
he's
not.
not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. That's why that show is instant classic. If you have not watched its first 2 episodes, the first episode is more about background, like how we became a United fan and why I'm a Liverpool fan and stuff. But then we'll be basically talking about the Premier League week in and week out. But you know, it
Yeah.
all back
You
to
gotta
our
you gotta bully him with the Amorim like situation with the
Hasn't
he
he
was
been
just like
bullied?
trying
Hasn't
to what he was just trying to do.
hasn't he
I
been
have
bullied
no
enough?
idea. I have
Hasn't
no idea.
I feel like he's been bullied enough just by being a United supporter
I
this
mean, if
year,
you guys
anyways.
watch that end of the like his post match interview, yeah, that's a guy that's just like has lost it. Like he didn't even know what
Oh,
to say. You can kind of tell. I mean, Adriana, like you'll know, like especially when you're first learning the language, when you
yeah.
get like, because like as you're learning it, because like as you're learning it, you're kind of like thinking in a different language, but
Yeah, when you're
you
learning,
kind of get
yes, of
out of
course.
that as much as possible as you learn. But especially initially, as you get angry, like your brain is used to be angry, like my brain was used to be angry in Turkish. So like
Yeah.
initially
Same.
I was, even over here I was swearing in Turkish when in traffic and stuff, so that eventually changes. But you could
Yeah.
tell like he couldn't even think of the words to say in English because he was so pissed and like frustrated and stuff. But it's fun to
Such a
watch
depressing
regardless.
image. Yeah.
I mean,
It was fun and depressive. Like, whoa.
well, you gotta look at. I mean, and I don't think Amram is a bad coach. I think he has a bad squad, and I think he has a bad organization. That's the problem. Is they have spent all this money on players that are just not that good, and then they have pulled money from the rest of the organization in little areas like the free lunches for staff and things
Yeah.
like that.
Mm.
It's grim over at the Theater of Dreams or whatever those. It is a poor situation. And Amram, like when you are told that Chesko is going to be the next big thing, and he misses a sitter that could have won them the game over Grimsby Town, and then you look over and you see this 16-year-old kid named Rio something or other score the winner in the extra time. I mean, how does that not just destroy your soul inside as the
Yeah.
coach of Manchester United? I mean, Mbuemo, I mean, he got the goal, but he was fair to middling. Mainu, who I thought is a solid player, is going.
We were literally just talking about him yesterday because somebody was asking in the audience, and I was like, man, like a year or so ago, I would have I don't know if he would just block the path of Neoni now, but I would have taken that. I thought that kid was going to be the next big thing, but he is far from what he was in the past as well. I mean, Joshua says they're manager. I don't think it's a manager situation. I don't even know who would be able to come in. It's such a big mess that, I mean, it's fun, but that's what I mean. Like my brother has become like a punching bag at this point. It's not even fun to make fun of him because he's constantly in the fetal position and you can't just keep kicking him over there. But yeah, I mean, it's fun, so we'll take it as much as possible. So okay, let's talk about us for a little bit, and then there was a couple of topics I wanted to get to yesterday, but then we were trying to get John a girlfriend and stuff, so it kind of got out of control. We went all over the place. The topics went a different direction. So Isak situation, gay situation, nothing new. Like I was looking this morning to see if there were any updates or anything like that. I'll start with you, Adri. Are you a little worried of what we have right now? If we enter the season with nobody else coming in, would you be worried?
Yes and no. I think it's just too early to get really, really worried. Like we need some time to settle and stuff. Like we just have played two games, but definitely like those two goals were like crazy. Like the first goal, the Guimaraes goal, was absolutely on Kerkes, and I was
Yeah.
surprised. Like you can tell they're still shy and trying to find their place and the rhythm and stuff. But like, okay, I can tell that about like Kerkes, but the second goal, uh, like Ravenberg, it was also like what's like, and Konate. I'm also super worried about him,
Yeah.
and I don't want to take that position of like he's doing everything wrong, just two games and both of them they have been terrible and la la la. Like, can somebody really like think about like we are still grieving, you know? And we never get to know Rota, but he was a really good friend of him. And I don't know, like definitely I feel like there's something off after that with Konate especially. And I want to say that um because I feel it's something in his mind
Oh,
that is not
you
like
sure it's not Real Madrid in his mind
clicking
and
like
not?
entirely. Oh, don't say that, please. I
I,
didn't
I'm not.
really.
I'm just saying because this
I
is what we
suffer a
saw
lot
from the
with
other dude.
Trent, and
Yeah,
no, I don't want to like with Trent. I was like, I didn't want to believe it, but from the beginning, I was like, yeah, he's like, he wants to be there. It was too obvious. But right now, we cannot. I don't know. But he's disconnected, man. Like
yeah,
he's not there. So talking about it, I don't know if like Isaac should be the priority right now. You know, especially with what Ekitik has shown, and probably Wirtz hasn't been like the most like the star, or he hasn't been shining as he should. But like I think at the front we're not bad, kind of, but like these two games has shown what should be like the priority for Slot and the team to like what type of player we need right now.
yeah,
And like we were missing Maka, like the lack of Maka in the midfield was also like oof,
yeah,
like we miss him. So yeah,
yeah.
I
I mean,
don't know. I don't
hopefully, I
think
mean, I hope
Isaac
he's
should be a
back on.
priority.
I hope he's back on Sunday because that was definitely a miss. I mean, where are you at,
But we
Travis? I mean, it.
cannot, depend on him either. Like
Well,
we
that's the
shouldn't.
problem, right? I mean, honestly, if you didn't have to play one of your midfielders as a right back, but that's like the thing. Some of the guys we have are not probably as reliable. Like if you could count Gomez in at all times or Bradley in at all times, I think you have depth in defense too. But you can't trust that, Travis. And then we don't know anything about Leone because he's only like, like a young kid that's, I mean,
Yeah.
none of us, let's face it, watched a lot of them and stuff. Are you worried, Travis, if we go into the season like this with no moves? Would you
No.
be concerned?
No, I'm never worried. Okay, let
You
me put that
never were. Okay,
optimism.
see,
I'm never
then
worried.
we're the
We're
complete
never worried.
opposites. I'm always worried. So yeah,
I
I'm
no,
in the
and
middle.
that's there we go. We will have the perfect analysis between the three of us. It is the right balance. It's I mean, you watch these two games, and for years now, not just for this season, but for years, you could go into a Liverpool match. You could be down 3-0 at halftime, and as a Liverpool fan, you're still saying we're going to win this match. It is an incredible feeling. Maybe it is blind optimism, but we seem to prove it year in and year out. I think Klopp and Slot are two of the best managers in the world, without question. I tried to learn from him last year, and I swear I couldn't wrap my head around most of his tactics, but he really put the work. He showed these last two games some really incredible substitutions, some incredible moves in the Newcastle match. So
Hmm.
in the Newcastle match, yeah, Konate struggled and Kirk has struggled. I think Kirkes is struggling. I don't know if it's the language barrier. I don't know if he's still learning, adapting the new style of play, but his positioning has been
like
difficult.
language barrier, as in like the team, like tactics language, or I mean, the dude was in the Premier League. You know what I mean?
Oh, so maybe Konate's yelling at him in French. I don't know. It could be. But yes, but mainly tactical wise and positioning. He's playing in a much different setup. And one thing so I went back and I rewatched a lot of the long highlights from the Newcastle match. And for me, Van Dijk was the best player on the field. Zobo was incredible.
I was gonna say, excuse me.
Yeah, but no, he did an incredible job. It was great to see. I mean, look, and I jump around, so you may have to pull me back a little bit. Zobo proved we don't need Trent because Trent was an incredible right back.
Hold on.
Okay,
You did jump around all over the place. Let me reel you back here. Let me reel you back before you go too far away.
You gotta keep me in check. I swear. So, but
let me reel you back over here. You said you are not worried if you don't have. So, like for example, the center back depth doesn't count. I mean, okay, you're just talking about Sobo proving. We don't need the trends, but Sobo is not our right back. So playing a midfielder right back goes back to what Adri is talking about. We miss Mac because you don't even have other midfielders. It's almost like we didn't have Mac and Soboslai. I guess like my worry, so you can ease the worries if you want, if that's your thing.
I will do it.
Like the center back depth, because as much as I love Gomez, and I really think Gomez and Van Dijk in most cases are a better duo based on the opponent we face, but his lack of reliability worries me because if something happens to Konate, I can't automatically say, oh, that's okay, Gomez is there, because he might not be. So now you're down to Van Dijk and a kid, or Van Dijk, God forbid, with Endo or somebody like that. That's my worry. So let's do what you do with that. Do your thing with that.
Okay, so that is one thing. I'm not worried about right back. I think Sobo, they're going to put him training a lot more in right back because we've got other midfielders. McAllister apparently was a minor injury in training, something that if they were, Slot said that if it were preseason, they would have put him in the game. But during the regular season, they're giving him time to rest. He's cautiously optimistic he'll be back to play. We still have Curtis Jones. We still have Harvey Elliott. We've got a few other kids, by Chedick, I think we might get some time. So if Zobo kind of cements himself as a solid right back spot, the one area of worry is that center back position. It is a concern. I mean, I don't want to see, Endo is fair to middling back there. And I think he's one of the best defensive midfielders out there. I don't want to see Gravenberch in the center back spot. Not that he can't do it. He can do it. But then we lose him in the midfield, and that would be heartbreaking. Cannot do that. I want to keep him in the midfield. So yes, if Konate continues to slip, continues to struggle a little bit, I do think Leone is going to be dynamite, but he is a kid. That being said, kids seem to do well in our squad. But Van Dijk has taken him under his wing. He is spending every training basically glued to Virgil, learning everything he can. I think we have to get someone. I don't want to talk about Mark Gahey. I don't want him on our side. I don't agree with his personal beliefs. And so I don't want to get too much.
Why? I'm lost there.
It's
he's like, what happened?
Oh man, that's a whole nother fiery thing. Is that there was some conflict during the Pride armband wearing last year. That he wrote a message, I heart Jesus, on his armband when it was kind of called out as to what that meant. He refused to comment. His father made some comments. It is not, and I'm one to not let that just fall by the wayside. That being said, I think he's coming into a team that is so accepting and inclusive and full of love for everything. Wow. I think Allison Becker might be the nicest human being on the planet.
Yeah,
I think he's going to bring love, and hopefully that we influence and correct that. If we're talking purely footballing ability, he's a solid center back. I'm a little concerned about his attitude on the field. I know he's kind of upset with Crystal Palace right now. There was that little dust up where he ignored the manager, but that is my only concern. I think up top.
Oh wait, so you do have a worry. You do have a worry. Okay.
A worry is different than a concern. That's my thing. A worry is different than a concern. So I have a concern because up top, I think we're in great shape. I think we're not I don't think we have the best attacking side in the league right now, as it stands right now, but close to it. Ekitike he's scoring. He's scoring. He looked so calm and collected with each goal. That's what really got me, is that seeing him, he knew exactly where he was. He knew exactly where the ball needed to go. And to have that, I think if he can do that every game, if he only plays 60 minutes every game, but he gives us a goal every game, I'm good. But we've got Mo Salah, we've got Rio, we've got a decent side up front. I think if we get Isak, it's the end of the world for every other team in the league. You know,
Yeah, I am with
it's
AR over here because I mean, as much as look, like when things look good, when you're winning, well, even though it's kind of like painful winning, we'll talk about that in a little bit over here. But yeah, things look better than maybe they are. Like, for example, right now, I love Ekitika, by the way, and I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. Not only because of the goals, I just like his
Yeah.
interplay. We get more interplay from him than we ever did with Nunez and stuff. Like his one-touch passes, him dropping back, he's excellent. But we don't know if we just happen to just get, Ekitike is in really good form right now. If something happens when he's not in good form, I look at that bench right now and I don't know who would go into that slot. You're putting Chiesa in and putting all your eggs in that basket does not seem very smart to me. When Mo goes to AFCON, everybody's like Frimpong, well, who already like played one game and has a hamstring issue and stuff like that. So
Mm.
I have concerns, and those concerns become a worry for me, Adri, because I feel like if everything in an ideal world, yeah, it doesn't look that bad, but it's never an
Mm.
ideal world, especially once we have Champions League games and League Cup games. I mean, unless we face the mighty Grimsby, but like we'll have like League Cup games, FA Cup games. You're gonna play midweek games. I'm just worried that it's never the ideal scenario. So you do need at least one more center back, like you're saying, so when Konate is not himself, you can have somebody else come in there and somebody up top. If it's not even Isak, it has to be somebody else that can kind of come off the bench or start and give some rotation and stuff like that.
Mm. I would love to really like to see an actual right back, because that reminds me a lot what happened to Lucho. Like he kind of lost his position when Gakpo came into the team. So I think Slot is the type of like coach that is just like, you should be able to play in like a bunch of positions,
Yeah.
not like I'm a right back, so I gotta stay there or whatever. But now with Ekitike, it is so obvious that it's getting no easier, but we have seen like 7 goals in 2 matches, at the beginning of the league. And I don't know if that would have been the case if Lucho was playing as a striker when he's not. So I'm
Oh,
just
I see
trying
what
to
you mean.
say
Yeah.
like finding like the right position and the right player for that position, it's crucial. I feel that like it's okay if they have the capacity to play in different positions,
Yes.
but it has shown like we can have a stronger team uh if we, yeah, like you know what I mean.
have
Yeah,
people
I mean, no,
dedicated. Have
that's
people
the thing.
dedicated.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a
Yeah,
guy that's, like Soboslai as a right back, right? This week, you're like, it's good to be able to know, hey, when shit hits the fan, there's somebody who can step in there. But I don't
yeah,
think you can do that week in and week out. Yeah, and I agree
exactly.
to that. So that you can, yes, it's good to be able to fill in when needed, but you got to
Yeah,
have the guy over there. And honestly, like Bradley's another person, I think, very Gomez, like, I don't know what it is, but he can't. Even last season, even when he was with Klopp, he never like did the 90 minutes. He would always be substituted and stuff like that. But hopefully, I mean, we have 3 days left over here. Something has to have to happen. I just so feel like if it doesn't, I'm going to be extremely concerned going into the new season. But let me talk about this. We were going to talk about this yesterday. Actually, I had the images ready and everything, but then, like I say, we went all over the place. But okay, I was talking about this on. It feels like, right, when we won that game, I was like, man, this freaking club never makes it easy to win a game. Like you always have to and it kind of feels like that. But then I saw the stats, and yes, by far. It's kind of like it's definitely like that 40. So I was like, maybe it just feels like that to us, kind of a thing. It has to make it difficult of all these times. So I'm assuming, well, let me ask you guys this. As much as I would love a 3-0 win over, these, the cardiologist, not cardiologist approved games that we keep having back to back to back.
yeah,
Travis, there is something to be said about that, like the joy of a last minute goal or at the end of the game, grabbing from
Oh
like
man,
walls of death over there. There is something to it, but I just don't want to make it a habit of having it every freaking week either.
it's an incredible feeling. One of the very first matches I ever watched as a Liverpool fan was in 2004, and it was against the champions Arsenal champions at the time, and it had to have been the 93rd, 94th minute. Of all people, Kolo Toure scores the winner in a 2-1 victory. And that, I mean, and that was it. I was locked in. Kolo was going to be one of my favorite players. It makes you feel different. You live, I mean, 21 years later, and I can still remember the exact moment, how I felt, how it was.
Oh no! Wow.
Oh, it was incredible. It was the same with the Divock Origi Everton goal.
Yes.
I mean, that's another one where you just remember where you were. Lovren against Dortmund. I just all of these moments, and it's because we have fostered this attitude of never give up, never say die. At any moment, we can win this game. It doesn't matter who we play, and we can. The thing about that attitude is that you keep building on that with these victories. When you have that last minute against Dortmund, this last minute recent against Newcastle, we show that we can do it. And so you can get to the 95th, 96th, the 100th minute, and legs are tired and people are tired, and that's when the mentality comes into play. I mean, the mentality monsters, as we said with Klopp's squad, that's when it becomes the biggest factor. And in that moment, how long into the game, playing a position, and I'm talking about Zobo here, playing a position he hadn't really played before, handling it impeccably all game
you
long.
really like straight again to Szoboszlai writes back. I'm gonna let you finish it this time. Jeez.
Yeah. but that's the thing, is that what was the key? What was the key to that last goal? Was the Zobo dummy. The fact that he had enough awareness around himself to get to the right spot, make the perfect, and it was an impeccable dummy. I thought he was shooting, and then my heart jumped into my throat, and I froze, and then to go straight to Rio, who knocked that one in. It was absolutely incredible. So it's a mentality piece. It really is, and I'll take. It is. It's hard for the old cardiovascular. It really is. It's a struggle, but we as a team, no team in the world right now has that level of confidence in the 100th minute. I mean, we used to talk Fergie time in the Man U days, and it was the same thing. Is that, credit to Alex Ferguson, he created that mentality of you can win a game in any minute. Any minute of the game, doesn't matter how long it goes. And Klopp has fostered that. Slot continues to do so. We've got the mentality for it. So I might not have the heart for it, but
I mean, when you look at those numbers alone, and honestly, if you go back and watch Szoboszlai, you talk about tired legs. When that buildup starts happening, he's on the left side of midfield. And then as that ball moves, he keeps finding pockets of space to move into, and that makes that run into the box and stuff. So that dude can run for hours. I know your actual boyfriend is there, Adri, but your other boyfriend, Szoboszlai, is doing really good over there. How about you, though, Adri? Would you take a 3-0 win, or do you like these last minutes heart attacks?
No, I like everything last minute. It's better for sure. And football games
so many
are
ways.
in so many ways. You just I don't. Yeah, you can think whatever you want to think, but life, football is football games are like a reflection of life itself. Life is easy. No, it's not. It's not.
Football is life.
Football is life, man. I remember the 7-0 against Man United, and I was it was amazing. But at some point I was like, okay, next one. What's this? This is too easy. We knew that, whatever. But when it's last minute, it's just so, and especially for a Colombian like me, that I need it. I need to scream. I remember the first game I was watching it at Carragher's actually, everyone just was just like, I looked around, everyone was like, yeah, like, and that energy, you can see it in our players too. What you were saying, Travis, is just like, it's life or death. Like, we need to do this right now, and this is when you show where are you, like, how's your mentality, what you trained for. So I honestly prefer last minute winnings 100% over a three whatever zero. Yeah, like, but if we win, well,
Yeah.
A win is a win. That's the thing. 3 points are 3 points.
I mean,
So.
Adam
yeah,
says it's in our DNA, not every team can. I think that's a part of the deal is when you have. That's why I was kind of happy for this new gang, because I think when you have guys like Van Dyke and Robertson and stuff like that, they've been there and done that. So
yeah,
you need that, like you need that confidence, you need that calmness of it's going to happen if we do our thing, kind of a deal. So I feel like these two games are good for the newcomers to get into that mode of understanding that you keep going and then something will happen if you just keep doing your job, kind of a thing. So
yeah,
that's why it's that good. So let me bring this up and I'm going to ask you guys, because there's a lot of them being mentioned in the audience going all the way back. You can kind of tell the old timers in the audience over here. There's like really old like references over here, but which is good. Makes me look like I'm younger or something. Okay, so out of these, I mean, this is just a tweet of this person's favorite, but these are mostly, obviously, a lot more recent ones. The Nunes at Brentford, Bobby versus PSG, the famous one-eye celebration. Nunes at Newcastle, Mane at Everton. I think that's a tap-in from like Sturridge hitting the posts. Origi goal at Villa, Jota, Wolves, Spurs, and Villa. Alisson goal, I think Dara was mentioning in the. I like how they put just Divock Origi because everybody knows which one that is. They didn't even say which game or whatever. That's from the post with the alligator arm. Pickford, Salah versus
yeah.
Everton, Carvalho versus Newcastle. I don't know. I wouldn't even throw that in there, to be honest with you, as a favorite. But Nunez at Forest and Rio this past week. Travis, we'll start with you. Which one is your favorite? And you cannot talk about Soboslai at right back.
All right, fine. So at left back, no. It's so I know I mentioned the Colo Touré goal from years ago. I mentioned the Divock Origi goal, but I mean, when it comes to just, I think the biggest reaction where not counting Lovren, but like that alley goal, just like we need it. This is it. This is the kick of the game. We need this goal, and we saw, in Newcastle, and they sent their keeper up. Like, you as a team, everybody is just like, you need it. You need it more than anything in that moment. And the run up, the build up to it, and for Ali to get the goal, for a player who was going through so much personal drama, with his father passing recently,
Mm.
that, and the joy on the faces of the team, it just, like, I'm getting goosebumps right now, even just thinking about it. I think I would, it was just, as far as feelings go, because it was an important goal. It was an incredibly important goal. That was our run up to win the whole thing, and just to see the joy. I mean, on Mo Salah's, Allison even remarkably said that's the biggest celebration Mo has had at any game, was his celebration with Allison when he scored that goal. And so, as much as I love to see little T-Rex arms Pickford get completely stymied by Divock Origi, that Allison goal, that one's going to live in my heart till the day I die.
Oh,
This is the
Look at the
I got the Becker jersey on today. I got my Becker jersey on today, so there you go. I got a rep.
He was prepared, even though I didn't tell him, though, to be fair.
Yes.
I didn't.
Yes.
I kind of put this, I keep a couple of things in the background, so it's more of a surprise.
Yeah.
Audrey, what do you have? Which one is your favorite?
I clearly remember Nunez against a Forest.
I knew it
I
was going to
do.
be a South American doing
I
something.
do.
But go ahead.
I do. I was just, I think I almost cried because he was coming from a terrible moment. Like he wasn't. I don't remember for how many games he didn't score. Like right before that, and he finally did it. So it wasn't just about us winning, but about him. So I was just like, yeah, motherfucker. Like how I'm gonna just like, justify to someone else that you're amazing if you don't score. Like, and his lack of like, I don't remember if that was like, I think it was close to Copa America too. And he was just like doing so bad in Uruguay too. So I was so happy for him. Not only for the team, but for him.
Hmm.
So I remember that goal. I do remember that. I
It
was
was
like,
a, it was an incredible moment. It's because Man City was going to play Arsenal that weekend. We played, they really held us that game. That whole game,
Yeah.
and you could see we were in the purple kits that match. And I wish I still need to get me one of those. But it was, yeah, you're dead on. He was frustrated. I think it was
yeah,
Copa or Friendly that he was struggling.
yeah,
Everyone had basically written him off, and then all of a sudden, this goal to
yeah.
put us 4 points up at the top, because it gave us a breath. It gave us a breath because then no matter what the result was with Man City or Arsenal, we were going to stay
Mhm.
top of the league. It gave the whole team a chance to kind of,
Yeah,
and I think that was one of the starts of Nunez slowly building back. And
yeah.
I miss him. I miss him. I wish he would have stayed.
Oh, you
Oh,
guys are
yeah.
killing me. You
Poor,
guys,
Ah,
I
of
see all these like we
course.
had a couple of posts of Nunez posts. Everybody's like, put
you
the
want
dog back. You see Ikitike I've seen Ikitike 3 weeks do more journal football
Oh,
stuff
stop.
than I've
Stop.
seen Nunez do in like 2.5
you
years.
want to spend the
I'm
next
talking
23
about
minutes on a
general football
topic?
stuff.
Do you want to? Yeah,
Oh,
are
Travis,
we
I
talking
can
about
throw you out
Nunez?
there. In
you
two and a
wanna
half
talk?
years, you'll have some moments as well.
I'm ready.
You're outnumbered.
Yeah,
You're
I know,
outnumbered
I know.
today.
I get a lot of hate for
You
this.
found
Okay.
the only 2 people who are willing to die on the Nunez Hill.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Like, I don't know how you did it. But
I don't know.
I know
Me
I'm
neither.
torn on this one. I was going like I was torn between 5 and 6, Ali and Diva, because I think both of them are like, I don't know. When both of them happened, it was just one of those what the fuck just happened kind of moments. Like, because it was so like, I mean, it like a cross last minute goal and stuff, especially if you're my age, you've seen a lot of these over the years, kind of a deal. But like, a goalie coming up, the Divock, like the double
Yeah,
doink being tapped in, it was just so out of. I think
yeah,
as much as I celebrate Divock goal, I think I'm with you on this one, Travis. I go with Ali. I think it's the whole. I mean, I lost my dad when I was young too, and I feel like that whole drama around it is what kind of like made that special. About like you see the celebrations right afterwards as well, and it's not about being able to qualify for the Champions League and stuff. It's you can kind of tell from the players and Klopp and all the coaches and stuff. It's just like a lot more for that guy at that moment. So that's what kind of makes it number one for me. And his
yeah.
post-match interview, it's still on NBC Sports. If you after you subscribe and hit the thumbs up over here and do all that stuff, once the show is over, you can go on YouTube and look it up. But it's still on there. It's still probably one of my favorites post-match interviews when he talks about the whole experience and stuff like that. And he is like, that dude is doesn't matter. Like, I mean, I'm not a religious person, so it doesn't, regardless of your religion, some of the stuff he says in terms of like just being good for being good, regardless of like
Yeah.
what, like just when setting an example and stuff like that. Like, it's he's like a special dude, that's for sure. Okay, there was a question
And
here.
his song came up right after that, right? That amazing song about like that goal, actually.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Not sung enough, I have to say. Let me
Before-
ask this.
Before we move on,
Go ahead.
before we move on,
right back. Go ahead.
because with Soboslai, we'll talk about Soboslai. Last time I was on, they pestered me for promoting Leeds United and thinking they were going to have some good games this year, and now it's all Soboslai. So I'm going to go buy a Soboslai jersey. But
By the way, let me bring this up since you said Leeds. When I first started talking to
They
Travis,
didn't last like
Yeah, they just got hammered, so he's not bringing him up. Yeah, when I first talked to Travis about coming on the show, I'm like, hey, you want to like hop on one of the morning shows? He was like, yeah, how about them Leeds though, right? I told you guys, but I noticed you didn't bring up Leeds this week when we were talking now.
Hey man, they're gonna stay up. They're gonna stay up. But we're not here to talk about it. That is the last thing
You
I
can
want to
talk
get
to my
attached.
boyfriend. He's a Leeds fan.
You know what?
Oh, there you go.
I think Joel Pearl's going to do great, and I'll leave it at that. No, I want to talk about the Carvalho goal against Newcastle because that meme, that image is going across the internet, and everybody is talking about every other goal on that list. I don't want to forget the Fabio Carvalho last-minute Newcastle winner because if we remember what happened, we're in it, like we've got 5 minutes of time added because if you remember that match, Pope grabs the ball and he lays on the ground and he lays there for like 30 seconds. And then Newcastle boots the ball out and they waste time. And Gordon, it was just a debacle in wasting time because Isak scores. I think it was 84th, whatever, towards the end of the match. Isak scores, loses his mind. They're tied 1-1 with Liverpool, best team in the world. And then they just go to ground. They do everything they can. And then boom, that at the end of injury time, of all people, Fabio Carvalho knocks Winnan off the post. I swear, at that moment, I think that was when Isak kind of went, okay, I think I'm going to go play for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was seeing this team that practices the dark arts, trying every little trick to get, and I get it, you do whatever you need to do on the field to win a match, but to see that all unravel in the 95th, that one, I often forget. I don't think about that goal often, but with everything that's going on right now with Newcastle, especially this last one, we did it to him again. We did it to him again. How as a Newcastle fan, I mean, if I stop burning the Isak jersey, I start burning Rio jerseys at this point.
You have to buy him first.
Yeah, you got to buy him. Okay. Sorry.
There was Adam had a question for. I mean, I think we talked about it probably in the podathon, the 24-hour podathon over there, which we did beat our goal, by the way. I think I mentioned it before, but we did beat our goal of beating the year before. So it will be over $5,000 sending to the 23 Foundation. And if you want any of the items, they are actually on their way as we speak from the foundation headed our way over here. But
Up the American
what
Scouser.
was it? It was that made him go Liverpool is the right club for me. You know what? Thank God. My brother wasn't as convincing as your brother, because otherwise I'd be a freaking United fan now. But so I probably did it for spite more than anything else. But real quick, Adri, I know we talked about this, I think, on the podathon too, but
yeah,
I think yours, like everybody has a different story, so we'll start with yours.
yeah. I'm gonna make it short. Like, long story short, yeah, because it's really long. But yeah, long story short, I started to follow Premier League because of Colombia players. So the first one that I was actually watching was Davinson Sanchez. He was playing for the Spurs. So I was watching a couple of like these England games, right? And I no, I black out. But what happened after? And okay, yeah, wait, of course. So I was just like, Liverpool got my attention, and I think I remember telling Timu, they were not as great as they are right now. We're talking about like, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago or something. But I liked their chance, and I saw like their energy was just like all the time on the pitch, and their style like that. That's nice. I like it, but I never followed like the team at all. And yes, after Lucho joined Liverpool, that's been like 4 years now ago. Boom, again, my eyes were on Liverpool just because of him. I gotta say, it was just because of him. And I was following like their Instagram, their social media. I was watching YouTube videos, and I started to learn about their history, their political views, their social causes. Like, it was more than just football.
Yep.
And by that, I was just like, this is like this reunited, or I don't know if that's the right word, but whatever, you got me. Like everything that I am, because I am a political scientist. Uh, I'm a lefty. I love football. I had a Colombian in that moment at the team, and I'm super passionate like about life and about everything that Liverpool was passionate about. So I was like, Jesus Christ. And I was a Millonarios fan from Bogota before, and I never, ever felt something like what I feel right now and what I felt by now for a team. And Lucho has gone, and I'm still here, and I feel more attached to the team right now, more than before. You can't explain that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like when we talk,
Oh, I
we were
love
talking
it.
about in the podathon. Everybody has kind of like a different story of how they started. It could be as easy as going to a game. It could be as easy as like like following a player and stuff like that. Everybody has a starting point. It's just you guys. But I mean that's the thing. Once you, I mean, especially like over here, for example, there's a lot of like new fans, Travis, that started just watching like recently and stuff,
Mhm.
and let's face it, a lot of people in the US probably don't understand because I've talked about this before. Like American sports does a really good job of being hands off of politics and focusing on the bottom line, so they don't lean. They can sell to both righties and lefties, kind of a
Yeah.
deal. But so it's kind of like a unique concept, I think, for like Americans to like afterwards realize, oh shit, I didn't realize this team was leading this way, kind of a deal. But yeah, I mean, it's like a totally different, like kind of like a special club. And it's one of those clubs that as you learn more about it, I feel like you like it, love it more and more and more. And it's just
Yeah.
kind of like becomes like Adri is saying, like part of your like life, part of your being kind of a thing. So what is your story, Travis?
Oh, so I grew up in a small farm town in Southern California and with basically no access to soccer. And so it was whatever video games I could get a hold of, or very rarely, I'd watch World Cup. And so the only teams I knew in high school even was like Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Man United. That was it. Like there just wasn't the connection that I was able to have. And so I moved to Los Angeles to go to film school. And at the time, my mom, bless her heart, she tried her best, but she bought me a Manchester United jersey because she knew I liked soccer. I know. At this, if I had been less than 18, we would have called social services. But but she just wanted to. She just says like, you like soccer, I'm going to get you a jersey. And I said, okay, cool. And so moved to Los Angeles. I went to visit the Manchester United supporters group in Los Angeles, and it was the most unfriendly, like just bitter experience. Just the group. You know what? Maybe it was a bad day for them, but they didn't want to talk to me. They didn't want to do anything with me. It was, and I was like, this can't be my team. I said, so I'm going to find, this is 2004. And so I'm going to go every supporters group I can find, because Los Angeles, big city, and even in 04, and I found like the Wolves supporters, the Chelsea supporters, the Arsenal supporters. I found a small group of like Shrewsbury supporters, and so across the board. And then walking into the Cock and Bowl and meeting the Liverpool supporters group at the time. And so middle of the year 2004, and I think the season was just kicking off, and the people there, they pulled me in, they taught me the songs, they told me the history, they all talked about their favorite players. And it wasn't just like one person, it was everybody there. And this was like, it had to have been, I think it was even like a Wednesday preseason match in 2004. And so who knows who was there, but 10 or 12 people, they sat down, they told me all about the club. And that was it for me. I was like, this is what I was looking for. And the more the season went on, the more I connected with all these people. And it was like at any moment I could go away for a few months, come back. Everybody, that community was so strong that I decided, that's it. This is my team. And then 2 months later, I got jumped in a parking lot by two Man United supporters and got a permanent knee injury. And so that locked me in. So I was like, that's it. That's it. All right.
Oh my
They have
God.
decided. Those two guys did more to cement my Liverpool loyalty
Oh my
as
God.
Man U supporters
That's so bad.
than most. But no, it's more about the love and more about just the feelings and everything. Like I said, like that Colo Toure goal. I mean, I had been lucky as a kid to go to some of the World Cup matches as a teenager, to go see. I watched the Los Angeles Galaxy play ever so often. In my later 20s, early 30s, I helped manage some semi-pro teams in San Diego. I was always connected, but nothing compares to those feelings. I love that we talked last-minute goals, because that Colo Toure goal, in 2005, winning the Champions League, all these moments throughout the year, like those are the moments I remember. And it's all not because of even necessarily what was happening on the TV, but the people around me that were there to celebrate with me. I mean, even last week, even against Newcastle, like I was lucky to capture a video of the celebration of the 70, 80 people hugging, high-fiving, cheering. I mean, it's palpable joy and palpable community. And I mean, why would you support any other team?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm like we should kind of record this and send it to all the supporter clubs out there, because that's why I think supporter clubs do not realize how important they are in terms of like getting somebody locked in and welcomed
Absolutely.
in. Because
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
have to admit, I mean, through American Scouser, I deal with, I've talked to a ton of supporter clubs. And I wish I could say all interactions are positive. There's a lot of supporter clubs, I hate to say it, unfortunately, where it's more about the people in there already than anything else. Like the supporter club was just formed for the benefit of the people in the supporter club. I know you guys have quite a history over there in Rose City Reds and stuff like that too, but there's like a lot. I mean, we've been to different places, and there are supporter clubs you go to and you feel part of the group instantly, and there are ones we've been to and nobody has said anything to us. I don't need anything said to me because I'm already a Liverpool fan for life, but I guarantee you there are people who go into the pub like you, right? Kind of like almost like, not, I don't want to say testing the waters, but kind of like trying to get, like get a feel of things.
Absolutely.
And if they don't get that, they're going to go somewhere else, and they might have a better day at a freaking United pub or something like that. And that's how they become the fan of them. And I think the supporter clubs have to understand their importance. More importantly, their leaders have to understand their importance. The ones that I know do a ridiculously good job. Like I always talk about the boys in Austin, and not because, they're a huge, like kind of like a supporter of us and like they sponsor and stuff like that. But like those guys, for example, like that leadership goes and talks to every single person who's new at the pub. They interact with everybody. They chant together, kind of like you're saying. They teach them the songs and stuff like that. Because it's one thing to see the environment and like it. It's another thing to be kind of like invited and sucked into it. And that's why I wish they would kind of like understand their importance and not just use it as a, I hate to say it, but it's probably use it for the benefits than anything else. And I think in the bigger cities, especially, it's a bit easier to get the numbers. I noticed like smaller ones where you have to really chase after everybody to get them signed up to be a supporter club. People are a lot more active. In the bigger cities, I noticed that it's almost like there's too many people anyway. So you're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. The next guy will sign up. So not as much effort, which is a really, really shame, because I think it's the kind of club that, like Jamie's in the comments. I know they've done it in Wilmington, for example. I think it's a club that the more you find out about it, like I said, the more you love it. I don't think it can be said for like
100%.
something like that.
And I mean, I've got to call out my crew, and I won't mention names because I know some of them told me not to mention their names. But honestly, like, so I'm lucky enough to.
Oh, you said I won't mention names.
I won't mention names.
I thought you said I will mention names because
I'm
they
going to
told
call
me not
some
to
names
mention
out.
names. Okay,
no, I wish I could celebrate them. I must insist everybody come to Portland. The group that pulled me in to work with them this year, and I've been working on and off with the supporters group for 10 years. These people, the effort, the passion, the love they put in. And if you come down to the pub, you'll meet a few of them. You can see them online. You can send them a message on Facebook, Instagram. They're just the most incredible human beings. Like their entire focus is community. How do we benefit people? How do we make things better for anybody who walks in the pub? Even opposing supporters, not too friendly, but it is. We create this community environment, and they have worked so hard. And I'm lucky that they've propped me up, and I get to come and talk and make it get my voice out there, which I love to do. But honestly, the work that they put in, and again, there's about 7, 8, 9, 10 other individuals. Like if you get a chance, Rose City Reds on Facebook, send them a message of love, because I will tell them the same thing. They work so hard to bring the best experience possible, and it wouldn't be the same without them. They're, like I said, I'm biased, but I think we've got the best leadership group of a supporters group out there. They're just incredible people, absolutely front to back.
Yeah, like there's a lot of them that are good. Go ahead, Adriana. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just that's most of the people. Like I haven't had the first bad experience with a Liverpool fan. Like everyone, like the first times that I went to the pub to Cara's, like I made a group of it's the three Andes, all of them they move out just to another cities or whatever. But it was those guys and they were just like teaching me, explaining me. They never questioned my passion or my intentions like of being there. And even on social media, because I make content on social media, and from an average from 100 comments, one is something stupid, and a Liverpool fan replies to that person. Like I don't even have to say anything, just like, you're welcome, we appreciate you, we want you to learn more. It's not like there's no space for you. It's just, it's so we're so open, and so it's amazing. It's different. I swear to God, it's different.
It's incredible. I mean, we didn't have a home a month ago. Unfortunately, our home bar closed, and we didn't know where we were going to go. We're lucky Kels swooped us up. Now we are expecting we could have 150 people. We're expecting potentially for the Arsenal match on Sunday. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. I can't believe it. And all because of the effort, like I said, this team has put in. They have been working day and night. And
by the way, in the chats, I see a lot of old timers, man. This is great. I feel like I'm slightly younger now, so I appreciate that. There's a lot of old timers with a ton of experience, and like telling their memories and stuff. And honestly, like everybody has, I kind of like keep an eye on the chat. Everybody has unique stories. If you guys, I mean, that's why I kind of like said that. That's why we have the section. Actually, I'll throw the link in the chat right here. And if you want to actually share your story there, definitely send it to us. Basically, it's a whole page of several people kind of telling how they became. I mean, these go all the way back to 5, 6, 7 years ago when we first started the site, in terms of like their Liverpool story, how they became Liverpool fans. And it's amazing how everybody has a totally different story. But honestly, like, obviously we're all here as Liverpool fans, but there's like a bunch of fans in the chat over here who are like, because I feel like at least here, and that's what we try to establish, we're not just like meatheads fans. We kind of like talk about, we talk about the sports. Obviously, we're passionate about Liverpool. We support Liverpool. I'm sure we're all wearing glasses with different shades of red on them, so we see things that way. But there's Steven is here. There's a bunch of people here in the chat who also support other teams, because I think we kind of share the passion of the sport and stuff. And we talk about miscellaneous things like this today. Finding John a non-Filipino girlfriend yesterday, whatever it might be. That's why I like about these morning shows over here. But yeah, another hour just flew by over here. But let me ask you guys on the way out. I really enjoyed this chat. We could probably go for like 2-3 hours over here.
Yeah,
I know.
Unfortunately, real life kicks in, and Adri has to go to work eventually. So get a bit more of the beach before she heads back. On the way out, I'll take your guys' predictions.
Yeah.
Adri, we'll start with you. Next time we meet over here next Thursday, will Isak and Gehi be both, neither of them, one of them be a Liverpool player?
I'm gonna say yes, both of them. I want to be positive, and I want to be an optimist. I honestly feel that we are okay without Isak. But I think we're gonna get both. Those are my predictions.
I like how you debated it again. You're like, yes, confirmed.
Because nobody's gonna say that. I have to say it. Okay.
Travis is the optimist. He's gonna sign both and their like brothers and shit. What do we have?
Well, we have Monday is the deadline, right? When is the transfer deadline? September 1st?
Yes.
September 1st. So we got to make this thing happen. You know, I don't think I have to imagine that we're going to have both. Isak, how do you keep him? How do you keep him at this point?
Yeah.
Like, you just can't have him on your side. The owners met with him at his home. They said the rumor was that they backed up a dump truck of money with a huge exit clause, and he still said no. Gahey is apparently finalized, and he's on his way in. I will say, you know what, if I have to pick one, yeah, we'll have Isak and Gahey. Yeah, we'll have them both.
I like the optimism. Okay, I hope so, man.
What else are you gonna get from me? That's all you're gonna get from me is this shining bright optimism.
This is great. Yes, Thursday is heading into the weekend because God knows tomorrow morning is the Reckless Crew. So we got Anand back in action. Anand and Kazi here. We'll take a look at the weekend. We'll talk about that. Don't miss the boys tonight. The Bolt Crew should be on 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Thanks a lot for being in the chat today. What was that?
Yeah, your predictions.
My predictions? I only ask predictions, Adri. I don't make predictions. No,
hey, buy your brother some Kleenex. You know?
I'm looking forward to that. That should be airing later
give him
tonight.
A hug. Show love. Give him a hug.
I already gave him a lot of shit yesterday, so that was the good part. But that will air actually later tonight as well. But no, I do think all joking aside, I do think we get both of them. Because I do, but I'll be honest, I'm totally content with Gahey and a striker of quality. It does not have to be Isak for me, but I guess we're kind of like almost. It feels like we're at the point of no return. But I don't know. I don't know if they will try to play a different game with him and tell him, do what we did with Coutinho maybe and be like, just give us till January or something like that. Or I don't know if they'll be able to get Larson over the line. I know they got turned down, but they'll go back with another offer and stuff like that. But I do think both get done at the end. I'm hoping. So we'll see how that goes. But
I'm hoping too.
Thanks a lot as always.
Thank you so much.
Before we go, I want to post something on social media. So just say hi. There.
Hi.
Hey. Perfect.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you so much.
I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks, Travis. Thanks, Adri. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Bye.